Hey, I'm Shay. I'm currently conducting an experiment called My Pursuit of Happiness, where I ask myself and I guess the universe the question, can I be happy? I spent the first 20 some years of my life actively playing the role of what people around me want me to be or think I am. I'm me. I don't have feelings. I'm too sensitive. I'm hypersexual. I'm a prude. I'm ugly. I'm pretty. I make no mistakes. I'm always messing up. I'm smart. I don't know a damn thing. I'm strong. I'm weak. I'm too positive. I'm too damn negative, etc., etc. Much of what everyone tells me about me contradicts what they just said about me, and it contradicts what the next person said about me, and it contradicts the role that I was just playing a second ago. Ultimately, this makes me look weird and contradictory because, I kind of am. Because I'm not being true to myself, but who is myself? And that question is the ultimate problem because, again, ultimately, I don't know who I am. And putting on these masks and wearing all these titles, though it is a skill, it's resulting in me never owning and exploring my own unique identity. Like, y'all, one of the assumed identities that I played was this rebellious, self-assured, explorative, I know myself girl. Girl, what? How the hell you know yourself and you playing the role? Okay. All right. After 3 or so years of therapy, I have finally begun to feel feelings, feel emotions. And I now know that my bestie status, I'm completely locked in, unfortunately, with anger and numbness. Those feelings, though they are valid, are low-key symptoms or decoys to a bigger issue. I only allow anger and numbness because exploration of other feelings would ultimately make me figure out who I am, which is terrifying. As I embark on this journey, one weekend I am scared. Based on my newfound feelings, I'm starting to explore and discover who I am when I'm not playing the roles of what everyone thinks I am or what people want me to be. And with that, these are the 3 steps that I've started to take to begin to discover myself. Shay, but you can call me Shayla if you're nasty. Step 1 is allowing yourself to feel your feelings. So if you watched my video before this, you know I am currently experiencing heartache. My heart is hurting for a relationship that has been over for 3 or 4 years. 3 or 4 years. You know, I miss my ex. I miss him. And I'm finally mourning the end and the loss of that relationship. When I was younger, I never wanted to have kids and I didn't really want to be married. And I remember telling my mom this and saying, I don't think that I want to have kids. I don't want to repeat this cycle that essentially my parents did to me. And I was like, if this is the best that's out there as far as dating, which I said that as a shorty, I was like, I don't want to do it. And my mom, literally and figuratively beat me. She beat that out of me. And my mom and I are like oil and water. We do not get along. We both butt heads a lot. But even with my inherent rebellion towards my mother and authoritative figures, I still hold on to some of the things that were placed in me by them, which has essentially resulted in me having this juxtaposition, I guess is the word, this contradiction within myself where I strongly feel one way and then act the other way. Yeah, it's unfortunate that basically all my feelings, ideas, beliefs, likes, all the things about me that made me as a young age I got in trouble for. And, I still have abandoned these things about myself because of these figurative and literal beatings. And it's time for me to lick my wounds and return to who I am and feel my feelings. I constantly have to remind myself that I am safe. And though these repressed feelings don't make me feel safe, I am safe. Going back to the topic of heartbreak and me not wanting children or marriage at a young age, I'm starting to sit more with what I truly believe about partnership, marriage, love, and children. So not that long ago, I posted this video.
Lock in for a second. What is it that you want? I'm not talking about what they tell you want. I'm asking you, what is it that you want from your own life? Maybe you don't want a husband. Maybe you don't want a wife. Maybe you don't want kids. Maybe you don't want to make 6 figures. Maybe you don't want a big ass house. Maybe you don't want the stereotypical beauty standard face. Maybe you don't want praise. Maybe you're content with just enough. Just because you don't want the stereotypical fairy tale that we all have been force fed doesn't mean that your life will not be your own unique fairy tale. Recently, I've decided I don't think I want to be married. I definitely don't want to have kids. And I might just have plenty of lovers in my lifetime and not really settle down with one long lifetime partner. Because deep down, me, young me, always was about that life. And I let society tell me that I was wrong. And now I'm like, I think I actually was right. I think I had it figured out. And when I have thought about relationships, I never thought about them romantically. Like the concept of love doesn't really click for me personally. But I love seeing other people in love. I enjoy partnership. I enjoy being in community with folks. But I don't have that Google Gaga romantic love personally. So I don't want to put someone else in a situation where I take them off the market and they miss out on the Google Gaga romantic love that I don't necessarily know if I'm built for. I don't really want the fairy tale because every single time I get a glimpse of it, I fuck it up. You get one life and your life should be your dream. So do what it is that brings you joy. And if you're coming to grips with the fact that what you want might not happen for you, that's also okay. Maybe it's not written in the stars for you to be married or for you to have kids or for you to be skinny or for you to have this perfect face. But just because perfection is not in the cards for you doesn't mean that your life isn't perfect the way it is. Always aspire for the best for you. Always strive for the best for you. But accept the fact that your best is enough. Lock the fuck in, shake some shit up, and create your own fucking fairy tale. Mwah.
And now I no longer agree with some things that I said in that video, just some things. Like, for example, I am romantic. I actually don't think I am Google Gaga in love. And what I mean by that is the stuff that you see in the movies, that like crying in the rain, dancing in music videos, like all of that doesn't per se resonate with who I am. I'm very monotone. I'm pretty deadpan. That's just not how I show love, but I am romantic. My romance just looks different from other people. And as quiet as it's kept, there's a lot of people whose idea of romance probably looks exactly the same as mine. I'm just not running into those people yet. And that's probably because I have a lot more healing to go through. And shit, they might have healing to go through, so we can lock in and not switch up and just be with each other for the rest of our life. My romance looks like looking people deeply in their eyes, encouraging people, pouring into people, matching their cadence, matching their vibe, and just overall caring. One of my exes needed a doctor, and he, felt the way about it. And I researched hella doctors, the best doctors, and I put together all the doctors that I thought would be the best fit for him based on his personality into a note. And I sent him the note, and we still have the note shared. This is the ex that, I'm having a hard time getting over now. And I sit with that and I'm like, it's easy for me to beat myself up and feel like I'm the worst person and feel like I am not capable of providing love. But I'm starting to realize that maybe I have been in love. My love just looks different than what people want to accept. Hell, sometimes my love looks like cussing people out whenever they need to be cussed out, and then they get their shit straight, and then I can come back to them and be like, I need to switch up my approach. I apologize for that, but I really care about you. I've never been the type to call someone 1,000 times, to text someone 1,000 times, to rush into having their babies, especially now that I got the IUD. Shout out to bodily autonomy and agency. But if I decide one day I want to bear someone's children, Lord allowing it, I will gladly take this thing out painfully. I know that procedure is going to be awful, and I will bear their children. If that's what romance looks like for me at that point in my life. Let me change that. Not if that's what romance looks like, but if that is what feels good at that moment. If I feel like I'm ready to pour into a small version of me and this person that I love. But outside of that, if it doesn't look like that, I have no desire to do it. I think one of the reasons why I struggle with romantic relationships is that I rarely get the same, care and patience and tenderness that I provide for other people, especially in the embodiment of romantic partnership. Even in friendships, people don't pour into me the same way I pour into them, except recently I've been pouring into a new friendship and she is matching my fly, that's a bad bitch. And I already love her. So I'm already working on myself through this experiment. So I think the fact that romantic partners typically don't match my fly, I don't know how else to say it, it makes me think that I don't want love. It makes me think that I don't want long-term partnership or even marriage. But I might if someone poured into me. I might if someone was patient with me. I might if I actually felt love coming from them to me. Basically, I think my feelings are hurt and I'm not willing to settle for a person that is not 100% capable of providing me basic human care. And I'm proud of my past partners for not essentially receiving 50 to 70% of what I had to offer them at the time. I'm getting close to 100%, and I think that because I'm getting close to 100%, I'm going to find a person who's probably close to 100% so that we can come together and make 1,000%. The math might not be mathing, but it's mathing to me. And you know, in my mind's eye, I can see this, but I also accept that I could have a beautiful life alone with no children, potentially having some lovers along the way, and having like a job or a career that I care about, or potentially creating content and helping people in this way, or helping people in a coffee shop, or helping people randomly. I don't know. Step 2 is doing things that you're interested in. I am rediscovering so many things that I like. For example, I like being pretty, and that feels cringy to me. But for a lot of my life, I was not socially pretty. I think that beauty is one thing, but I think society determines if you actually are attractive or not. And I have poured into myself to make my pretty stable foundation extremely attractive. I had the bones, I had the foundation there, but I needed a facelift. Not literally, I haven't got a facelift, but I did things like get braces, and I've gotten into really good shape. And all of that was my own hard work, and me essentially putting a potato sack over something that I worked so hard for, not doing my hair, not moisturizing my face, not putting on like a little bit of makeup, because I can't be bothered with makeup, but not putting on my mascara or lining my lips or filling in my scarce eyebrows. If I ever got any type of surgery, y'all, it would be a hair transplant into my eyebrows. Stress. For whatever reason, stress makes my eyebrows fall out. I digress. Not pouring into those things on an everyday is me neglecting something that I really like, that I really care about, and something that I think essentially could take me really far. And beauty is a privilege, and I like to utilize my privileges to my advantage. It's not my fault that I was given a decent foundation, and it is my responsibility to utilize what it is that I have to attempt to make the world better. I like creating, so I might as well monetize my desires, which goes hand in hand with beauty. If this works for me, it works for me. And if I like it and it works for me, even better. If I could attract a partner who wants a beautiful woman, you know, that works. I also like security. And if I could find a partner who's able to provide all those things I listed before, and provide me security and allow me to essentially be this like dainty, airy girl who likes to create and is traditional-ish, that'd be even better. So I might as well continue to do the things that I like so that I can get closer to discovering who it is that I really am and walking in my purpose, which will probably be a traditional-ish woman who still fights for hella rights and also still works and has agency and makes this man's life better and potentially his children's life better and everyone else's life better, because I'm allowing myself to be happy. I also like helping other people, and though I am an introvert, I have to get out of my own way so that I can pursue this desire, because if I'm constantly not wanting to be around people, I'm not living in my purpose of helping people and talking to people and pouring into people and encouraging people. That feeds me. And why would I starve myself because I'm an introvert? Being an introvert is not your entire personality. I'm not talking to just you, me as well, being an extrovert. is not your entire personality. I don't know who needs to hear this. Me, a little bit with the introvert part, but it's true. There's a lot more to you than not liking to be around people 24/7. We all need periods of recharge, even if people recharge us. Sometimes we need solo time to recharge. And if you are recharged by solo time, sometimes you need to recharge with people. And sometimes our balances are skewed more to the left or right. And that's just because all human beings are different. I have to be around people and not overextend myself in order to live in my desire, my my purpose of helping people. And one day I'll potentially have a partner or maybe some children, maybe some stepchildren that I'll be able to do this with 24/7. But until then, I'll continue to help strangers on the World Wide Web or in my everyday life, or paying it forward at a coffee shop by paying the next person's bill behind me, even whenever I'm broke, because those things make me feel good. And though feeling good is not particularly altruistic, I mean, if it helps me and the collective, I might as well do it. Step 3 is talking to people. Talking to people allows you to learn and to practice what you have already learned. People will teach you and then you're able to learn from them. People will also try you and you're able to practice or put into play what it is that you've learned from life, from other people, from lessons around you. For example, most humans will not respect what it is that you say if it doesn't align with what it is that they want. That's called boundaries. If you say you don't want something and a person wants it, human instinct is to push against that. And that is normal because we all do it to an extent, but it is your job to insist and assert the fact that I said I don't want this. And decent enough people will be like, oh shit, my bad. And they'll either back off or they won't. And that is another lesson for you that A, fuck that person, and B, you can just move out of the situation, and C, you might have to handle it in a different way. All of this, regardless of how it plays out, is information. So once again, human instinct is to get what you want. And you should also be attempting to get what it is that you want by letting people know and putting into practice what it is that you've learned and putting your feet down about what it is that you want. Don't be a doormat because you're confused. Be confused and be proud of it, because in order to be found, you have to be lost first. It's okay to be confused. My bonus tip is to listen to others, but not to accept everything that people say. You can hear everything around you. You can hear the birds chirping, you can hear the wind blowing, you can hear construction, you can hear people talking about the state of the world, you can hear people talking about politics, you can hear your own internal thoughts, and not absorb any of it, not hold on to any of it, because what is actually real? Who are any of us to say that something is absolute? Even looking up at the sky, I can say it's blue, but a person who's colorblind might not see the exact same color I do. Even absolutes are a little bit tricky. You are not your thoughts. You're not your body. You're not your worst actions. You're not anything. You are an expert on what is going on inside of you. You're an expert on what you think about yourself. But even that changes from day to day. A few years ago, I absolutely hated feminists. Now I recognize that feminism is the reason why I'm even able to create content and make money and put in the IUD and essentially do what it is that I want to without being at the the mercy of a man who potentially did not give a shit about me. People's opinions are just information. It's not Bible. Once again, even your own thoughts are information. They're not necessarily wrong or right. They don't have to be Bible if you don't agree with it or align with it anymore. Only you know who you are. Only you know how you feel. Don't let anyone confuse you or trick you out of being who it is or knowing what it is that you feel. Be present with yourself and check in with yourself constantly, especially when you're in situations where you are being forced to question yourself. Check in with yourself and think about it. How do I actually feel? Where do I feel things coming up in my body? And it's okay to also not have immediate answers or responses, but you don't have to grasp onto everything that people put onto you. It's okay to sit with yourself and figure out what your conclusions are about yourself, about the world, about what it is you want to do. You don't have to make up your mind right now, even when people are trying to force you to do so. Just know that the answers that you don't yet possess, you will. Trust the process. Bad doesn't exist without good. Good doesn't exist without bad. Light doesn't exist without dark. Dark doesn't exist without light. Every phase of your life, even the ones that fucking suck, are working in your best interest. Being lost isn't the end of your journey. It is only the beginning. Wander, explore, let go, grasp onto things tight, fall, get back up, love hard, get your heart broken, quit, start again. It all leads to exactly what it is that you need to discover your own unique path and journey in this life. Healing is possible no matter how long it takes. You got this. Like, comment, subscribe, and if you like my whole thing, including my face and my dry ass delivery, maybe follow me on Instagram or don't. It's up to you. Okay, thank you. Mwah.